Hello friends, I am Satish Ahuja, editor of Legal Books and Journal. In this video, I will discuss the increasing number of check bounce cases in Indian courts and recent important judgment delivered by the Honorable Supreme Court of India in the case of Sanja Bij Tari versus Kishore S. Borkar, decided on 25th September 2025 to encourage speedy disposal and settlement of check bounce cases. Friends, as per National Judicial Data Grid, pendency of check bounce cases as on 1st September 2025 in Delhi District Courts is 6,50,283. In Mumbai District Courts is 1,17,190, and in Calcutta District Courts is 2,65,985. This pendency is putting an unprecedented strain on the judicial system, as in some states, check bounce cases under Section 138 of NI Act constitute nearly 50% of the pendency in trial court, and in Delhi, check bounce cases constitute 49.45% of the total trial court pendency. Supreme Court stated in the judgment that the purpose of punishment in check bounce cases is not revenge, but to ensure that complainant receive the amount due. Honorable Supreme Court of India has modified the guidelines of earlier decision given before about 15 years in the case of Damodar S. Prabhu versus Syed Baba Lal H. in 2010 and issued new guidelines which directed to be implemented from 1st November 2025. As per this judgment, if the accused pays the check amount before recording of his defense evidence, then the trial court may allow compounding and settlement of offense without imposing any cost or penalty on the accused. B. If the accused make the payment of the check amount post the recording of his evidence, but prior to the pronouncement of the judgment by the trial court, the magistrate may allow compounding and settlement of the offense on payment of additional 5% of the check amount with the legal service authority or such other authority as the court deems fit. C. Similarly, if the payment of check amount is made before the session court or a high court in revision or appeal, such court may compound the offense on the condition that the accused pays 7.5% of the check amount by way of costs. D. Finally, if the check amount is tendered before Supreme Court, the figure would increase to 10% of the check amount. Court also clarified in the judgment that when there is no clear statutory provision, guidelines can be issued under Article 142 of the Constitution for doing complete justice. On the issue of mode and manner of the service of summons, as per this judgment, summons can now be sent through electronic means such as email, mobile number, or WhatsApp. Honorable Supreme Court of India held that keeping in view the massive backlog of check bounce cases and fact that service of summons on the accused in a complaint filed under Section 138 continues to be one of the main reasons for the delay in disposal of the complaints, as well as the fact that punishment under the Negotiable Instrument Act is not a means of seeking retribution, but is more a means to ensure payment of money and to promote credibility of checks as a trustworthy substitute for cash payment. Direction given that in all cases filed under Section 138, service of summons shall not be confined through prescribed usual modes, but shall also be issued thusly, that summons shall be served upon the accused by the complainant in addition. This direction is necessary as a large number of Section 138 cases under the NI Act are filed in the metropolitan cities by financial institutions. By virtue of Section 142(2) of the NI Act against accused, who may not be necessarily residing within the territorial jurisdiction of the court where the complaint has been filed. Trial courts also required to further resort to service of summons by electronic means in terms of the applicable notifications rules, if any, framed under Section 64(1) and 2 and under Section 531 and other provision of the Bharatiya Nagrik Suraksha Sanhita 2023. Like Delhi Bharatiya Nagrik Suraksha Sanhita Service of Summons and Warrants Rules 2025. For this purpose, complainant, at the time of filing the complaint, required to provide requisite particulars, including email address, mobile number, and or WhatsApp number, messaging application details of the accused, duly supported by an affidavit verifying that the said particulars pertain to the accused. Complainant required to file an affidavit of service before the court, and in the event such affidavit is found to be false, court shall be at liberty to take appropriate action against the complainant in accordance with the law. As directed in this judgment, at the time of filing complaint, complainant must provide the accused digital information along with an affidavit. Cash transaction above rupees 20,000 also directed to be considered legally recoverable debt. District and Session Judges of Delhi, Mumbai and Kolkata directed to prepare a dashboard showing the status of pending cases. Directions also given to high courts to form committees to monitor these cases and promote alternate dispute resolution, ADR. Other important points also decided in this judgment. After service of summons, court may place the matter before physical courts so that settlement can be explored at an early stage. Trial court have been instructed to properly use the power under Section 143A to order deposit of interim compensation. Supreme Court also held in this judgment that court must keep in mind that check bounce cases are civil in nature and not punitive. A debt created by a cash transaction above rupees 20,000 in violation of the provisions of Section 269SS of Income Tax Act 1961 is also a legally enforceable debt, since neither Section 269SS nor Section 271D of the Income Tax Act 1961 state that any transaction in breach thereof will be illegal, invalid or statutory void. Any violation of Section 269 would not render the transaction unenforceable under Section 138 of the NI Act or rebut the presumptions under Section 118 and 139 of the NI Act, because such a person, assuming him her to be the pay holder in due course, is liable to be visited by a penalty only as prescribed. Consequently, view that any transaction above rupees 20,000 is illegal and void, and therefore does not fall within the definition of legally enforceable debt cannot be accepted. Supreme Court also decided the consequence of admission of execution of check by accused in this judgment, and held that once execution of check is admitted by the accused, presumption under Section 118 of the NI Act that the check in question was drawn for consideration, and the presumption under Section 139 of the NI Act that the holder of the check received the said check in discharge of a legally enforceable debt or liability arises against the accused. Further, court also decided limit of revisional jurisdiction of High Court in this judgment, and held that in exercise of revisional jurisdiction, High Court does not, in the absence of perversity, upset concurrent factual findings, and it is not for the revisional court to reanalyze and reinterpret evidence on record. And even revisional court cannot interfere even if a wrong order is passed by a court having jurisdiction, in the absence of a jurisdictional error. Friends, this judgment is a historical step towards reducing the burden on the judicial system and providing speedy relief to complainants. The earlier the accused agrees to settlement, the more benefit he will receive, and the case can be closed with minimal cost. If you want to understand this issue in detail, you can read the full Supreme Court judgment. Once again, the name of the case is Sanja Bij, SANJABIJ, space Tari, TARI, versus Kishore, KISHORE, space S for South, full stop, space for Borkar, BORCAR, criminal appeal number 1755 of 2010, decided on 25th September 2025. For your convenience, I have also given the link of original judgment in the description of this video. After clicking on that link, you will receive original copy of judgment in English PDF file. Friends, if you find this video useful, please like, share and subscribe to my channel. This information may help you or someone you know. Thank you, friends. I will try to bring another video soon on another important legal topic. Till then, take care and goodbye. Thanks.